first day of also on a podcast as well. How you doing
Hmm.
today, Jane?
A little razzled,
Razzled?
razzled, frazzled, whatever. We're. I've got two releases today. Two.
Two.
Two. Yes, I've
Yeah.
got Tainted Mind, which is the third in the Shades of Night trilogy. See, I'm not even thinking right. And the Rituals and Ruins, which has Jasmine in it. So that's the one that's high pressure because we're trying to go for the USA Today bestseller list. So it's like bam,
So
bam, bam, sell, sell, sell,
sell.
sell.
Buy my book. Please buy my book. Buy my book right now. Please,
Yes, it's
please. Yeah.
it's 99 cents for 30 stories. Come on. That's,
That's a really good deal.
yeah. And at the end of this week, end of the launch week, it will not be 99 cents.
Why is it just on you? There's 30 of you.
All of us are going crazy like this.
Oh, you're all going nuts. Okay, so it's not just you. Because if it was just you,
Yes,
I'd be like, hey, wait a minute. Why are
no,
you
no,
doing
no.
this to?
It's not just me. I've been in. I have a 3-day takeover in my group. I'm like, why did I do 3 days? That's insane. I will never do it again. But today, so far, knock on wood, we've only had one person miss their slot, and that's because she was in the hospital. And
That's a
she's
reason, a
yes,
legitimate reason. Yeah.
exactly. We had two others that were in Brisbane, and they got the conversion of time wrong. so,
That
so they
happens.
so they were
Yeah.
on a little later, but they came. So it was like,
Well,
okay,
no,
cool.
that can happen. I speak from a
Yes,
vast experience on this one
yes,
because I've
yeah.
interviewed people from Australia and Israel, and you get really screwed up at the times.
Oh
Especially if you do it.
yeah.
Heck, sometimes I mess up even here. Like there was a next person I was supposed to interview, and I for whatever reason I had it my time zone, not theirs.
Yes. Well, that's why when we talk, you always ask me Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time, and I'm like, yeah, because if I have to convert it to Pacific time or Mountain time, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, no, we all lose our minds a little bit on something. Like I say, it's part of the gig. I'm very understanding that. It's like,
Mhm.
oh wait, it's
Yeah,
now. It's like, yeah, it's
exactly.
now. And
Yeah,
then they're like, oh shit, I thought it was this time. It's like, and you just go like this, like, yep, nope, I've done it. Like I can't,
yep.
I can't be mad. I can't be mad at somebody for doing something I've done. Like
Yep.
that's a rule. It's like I can't be mad for doing something that I've done. I just, you know, so
Yeah, I reached out to somebody because she didn't answer in the group chat that we had. And I said, "Are you ready? You're going on like now?" And she's like, "Oh no, that's today." And I'm like, "Do you want me to just wipe out your spot?" She said, "No, I'll wing it." So she did a really great job, but it was just like, you know, she's I think somewhere in Europe. I don't know where in Europe. So, 7 o'clock, it's what, 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning there?
it depends on the country you're out in Europe.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
I'm interviewing somebody in England next week,
Yep.
and actually no, this week. Crap,
Mm.
it's Friday. 4 o'clock her time. I will be up at 8 o'clock in the morning on the air here doing it. Right?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yep.
I try to be the accommodating one most of the
Yeah.
time because I'm asking you to come on my show. I
Yes.
figure I should try to be as accommodating as I possibly can. The only thing I usually ask my guests is have an hour free. That's it. Have it go
Yep.
an hour. You can go an hour. It's great. We may not go the hour sometimes, but I mean, we'll
Mhm.
have it free. Right?
Yes.
That's it. That's the only thing I really ask. Beyond that, it's like, okay, if you're in England, if you're in Israel, if you're in Australia, okay, we'll find a time.
Hmm.
Right? I did a back to back not too long ago from Japan.
Oh,
Japan one
wow.
day, Japan the other next day too. It's like, oh, okay. My sleep schedule is swooped for like a couple days.
Oops. Yeah, that's like, okay. I wouldn't be able to, well, I don't know if I'd be able to do the conversion. I have trouble doing the conversion to Australia.
Well, no. We
You know,
all have a weakness, but there are like some universal clock things you can look up, and those are
I
always
know.
good. That's
I
what I
know.
do. That's what I
I
do.
know, but it's like, is it daylight time? Is it what is it now?
Oh,
You know?
I'll ask what their time zone is. Like, I'll make this as
Right.
simple as like, what's your time zone? I always ask that now when I interview somebody. It's like, what's your time zone? Can we do
Mhm.
something? And go from there, right? And
Right.
that's pretty much it, right? So it gives me a way to look at things. So, and meanwhile, she's like a mad scramble talking to somebody on her phone. Bye, 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 right?
Yep. Yep. I'm like, oh crap! It didn't ping off? But I'm like, oh no, it's not 8 o'clock yet.
Not quite, not quite.
Not quite.
And
Okay. So
not
I'm like, crap, because somebody said they scheduled her stuff, or she scheduled her stuff. I don't know if she was bullshitting me, but she said she scheduled it and it didn't show up.
Yep.
So she's going on at 11, and I'm like, well, okay. She goes, let me reschedule them after the last person. I'm like, okay, that's 11 o'clock tonight. And I'm like, damn, I have to be up for this. It's like shit.
It sucks when you're the adult, isn't it?
Yes, yes, especially when I have to get up and go to the doctor tomorrow morning for for a scheduled physical. Like, oh, shit.
How you gonna feel, Doc? I need drugs. Give me coffee now. I'll go. I'll go.
I don't drink coffee. I'm the oddest author. I don't drink coffee.
That does not make you the oddest. Look, I can speak. I'll speak like as an expert here because I've interviewed a ton of you guys. You're
Mhm.
not the oddest author.
Mm.
You are eccentric like everybody else. You have your own eccentricities,
Yep.
but but I'm not gonna say that you're any stranger than anything else I've seen out there. In fact, no, I could go into like, it's weird. I don't usually judge anybody by their quirks. It's just one of those. It's like, it's who you are. It's just part of who
Mhm.
you are, and for whatever reason, coffee and you do not see eye to eye.
I just don't like the taste. I'm picky. I'm really picky on my food and my drinks. Maybe that's where my daughter got it. But
Yeah, probably,
well,
yeah.
but I eat meat and vegetables. She doesn't eat either of those. She's a pastatarian.
A Pescatarian.
Pastatarian or a grilled cheese-tarian. She has everything cheese and everything pasta, pretty
Okay.
much. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that'd
she,
be about all you could eat, couldn't you? Like if you
yeah,
don't eat meat, you don't eat vegetables. You're
yeah,
kind of boned.
and she's as skinny as a rail. She eats
Yeah, she would be.
lots of candy. She eats lots of candy, lots of cheese, lots of pasta, lots of pizza.
Wait, cheese pizza?
Yeah.
You're like just like plain cheese pizza? Is that her
Oh
thing?
yeah, plain cheese pizza. Nothing on it. If you have anything on it, it's ruined for her.
Okay, I'm afraid to ask this question because if your daughter listens to this, she might get really mad at me.
No, she won't.
And that would be this, and that would be this. Like, I've made pizza. It usually uses tomatoes. Like tomato sauce is like one of those like
Well,
ingredients.
that's like spaghetti. Well, pasta, spaghetti sauce. She has spaghetti sauce. She has all of that. So yeah,
So let's see if
that's different. Smashed tomatoes is good. She doesn't even eat French. Well, actually, now she will have a couple French fries, but for the longest time, she didn't even eat French fries. Like, what kind of child are you? I love her.
you do.
Yes, I do.
I know you do.
Very, very
No.
much.
She's oddly got karma, a little bit of karma because
Yep.
you're peculiar, a little bit of karma,
Yep.
but also, no, I mean, no, she takes after her mom,
Hmm.
and you know that means she has your good qualities as well. She's probably driven and does all kinds of crazy things all the time, like
Yeah, she's driven. Driven is a good word for her.
You're driven too. Like you're very driven
Yeah,
yourself. So, I mean,
yeah, a little bit.
it, yeah,
Just
it's
a little
like
bit. A little bit.
little, little bit. No, it's one of those. No, it's one of those things where I looked at it and go, yeah, like one of the reasons I think again, I one of those pleasant surprises with you and I ever I talk to you, it's like, wow, I'm gonna be like a version of you when I'm your age. Like that's what I'm gonna be.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a version of you, a little less nervous. I've gotten a lot more confident as I've gotten older, so I don't think I'm gonna be as nervous as you get sometimes.
Mm,
But I'm pretty much like you. I'm gonna do what I damn well please.
I don't know if it's nervous. It's just energy. Like right
Mhm.
now, I'm just full of this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's nervous energy. I don't know. Maybe it's just,
There's definitely nerves right now because you're doing a launch, right? And because you're
hmm
doing a launch, you're wondering, well, who? I mean, there's always in the back of your mind, no matter how many books you do, no matter how many things you do, who actually gives a shit about this besides me, right?
Yeah.
And there's always a little bit of that when you do a launch, right?
Normally I launch, I do a few posts, and then I move on. Every now and then I have a little bit more, but it's not overly, I normally don't do what I'm doing right now, where I'm, hosting in my own group and I'm in like 4 or 5 different groups in the same day. It's just like, okay, where am I today? But this is definitely much more labor intensive than I normally do. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I do one and I like do a little woo and then I move on to
Oh,
the
yeah,
next one.
a little. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That should be a T-shirt. I like to do a little woo and move on. People would bop for that. I'm serious. Yeah.
And my
So many.
hair is not staying in place.
Yeah. It's
See, it
okay.
keeps falling.
It's okay. Just let the hair fall. It's all good. It's
But
all
it
good.
annoys the shit out of me because I see it right here. It's in my peripheral vision, which is not good.
Deep breaths. It's okay. Here,
I
just just
know.
just play it. Just play. There you go. There you go. Play.
Yeah.
Well,
It
I
it
mean, like
and it,
a little,
mm,
a little nervous is always. I always like being a little nervous myself because it kind of it means I care. Like that's kind of like one of those little things. I would be worried if I did something with no butterflies at all. Like I would be legitimately worried about what I felt about something, right?
mm,
I just
yeah,
maybe that's me, but it's just like now I don't want to be a complete wreck every single time either. That's
right.
not productive. That's not productive. But I even when I do this show, okay, I've
Yep.
talked to you a few times. I'm not
Yeah.
like stupid nervous, but I always I'm comfortable. But there's always a little bit of butterflies right before you do a conversation. There's always that thing. So because there's always that thing, you just have to. I know I care. It's like one of those like little inner things. Like you're in the game, you're engaged. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, to be wholly here and focused and and go, okay, and you're in a coffee shop, so there's obviously things going on around
All
you
around me. All around.
that and I'm a people watcher. I don't know if I could do that in a
I,
location like that because I would be like, ooh,
So I just had this conversation with Chuck. Chuck when I was
Yep.
on there, he goes, "How the fuck do you do it?" Because you didn't just do this now. You did this even before.
Right.
He goes going because it was his part in doing a Kickstarter. He goes, I watched this guy. I did some dig weeping. He'd be
Mhm.
going in restaurants and bars, and the waitresses and waiters would be part of the show, and it's
Yeah,
entertaining.
it is. Absolutely.
Right. But what I've learned is all around me
Mhm.
is it's like life. It's chaos. I have no
Yeah.
control what happens around me at all. right?
I
I have
sort
two,
of do
I have
here.
two people talking in front of me right now. Two
Yeah.
people talking in front of me right now. Next thing I know, they might break out into a fist fight. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
That would
I'm
that
not.
would be
I'm not.
like that would be me like, what?
Well, no. See at
Yeah.
that point, depending on how things go, I would just be grabbing the computer. I'd be going under the table. We would still be
Yep.
having this conversation, right?
Yes. I wouldn't be able to stop laughing
No, you
if you
wouldn't.
just kind of went under the table.
I'm still here. It's all
I
good. It's
know.
all good. Right? People got smashed. People were just smashing each other around me. Right?
Yes.
Right? And then if something did really happen, I'd be like, I'm sorry. I'll be right back. I
Mhm.
promise. Right? And then you just would hear
Oh
all this stuff. Yeah. Right?
yeah. I've heard you promise before. I'll be right back. I'm trying. No, sorry. I'm just giving you a hard time about that.
Yes. I did try. I mean,
Yes, I know
really
you did. We were. Did you ever watch the whole thing?
I haven't watched the whole thing yet. That is coming. No. See,
Yes.
that's that. See, I have it in my YouTube archives already set.
Yeah.
So when it's already set. So when December rolls around, I'm
Mhm.
going to go. Then I'm going to be starting to send you some clips early December. And then what I'm going to do is random people that have no idea how or why are just going to get these random clips. And then
That's
like
gonna be so funny.
and then and then at the end it'll be Merry Christmas. That's it.
Yes.
That's going to be my Christmas card to
That
some of
is
these.
awesome, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be my Christmas. People are going to be completely confused as to why I did it like that.
Yep.
I don't care. You and I will know the joke,
Yes.
right? You and I will know the joke, and everybody else will be like, "What the hell? Like what the hell?"
Yep.
No,
What
I
the
had a
hell?
so I think the weirdest like one of those errors. Like I don't know. I don't think it was my computer. I think it was just my connection. I
Mhm.
ended up having Marissa Mayer on the show. So I ended up talking to her, myself, and another copy of me were on the screen for a second there. Like it was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. It was on StreamYard. It was
Oh
like, what?
yeah.
Yeah, it was like, bang. It's like, what the hell is happening here? And that's starting and stopping. I've talked to Marissa in 2 days. We're doing we're redoing it.
Yep.
So it's not gonna be me, Marissa, and my doppelganger, right? It's gonna be me and Marissa. I'm looking for looking
Well,
forward to.
yeah. I mean, your doppelganger could be, some
Well, see,
fun in that, though.
it gave me a wonderful short story idea, actually.
Yeah.
Right? Me and my doppelganger. It's like, what if the interviewer was actually two different people, and the guest was actually dealing with two different hosts, and did the guest didn't know it, and the host didn't know it? It'd just be like, what
That's
the
too
hell?
funny.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Right?
Or twins.
Actually, that'd be just, are you two twins? What are you talking about? There's only me.
There's
Right?
only one of us. Who are you talking to? Why aren't you talking to me?
And then at that point, she's like, what the hell did I sign up for? And then calls the public. He's a psycho. What the hell did you get me into? It's a number one rated show. Just go with it. What?
Yep, exactly. Oh,
I'm actually doing that as a little side. Here's the thing. After everything she goes through, I'm going to actually have her, like my guest's product, talk throughout the show. I wonder at the very end if I can create demand for a product that doesn't exist. Like
okay.
It's an experiment. It's an experiment, right? Because it's one of those things. It's like if you can hit somebody's curiosity the right way. Like it's the old light switch. What the hell does that light switch do? If you don't know, you want to find out. And if there's no
You keep
obvious.
going like this, and
You
3
see
blocks
nothing.
away, somebody's lights are going on and off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite version of that, ironically, was the Married with Children one, because it was like it was just like they showed like, what does this switch do? Because once it's in your head, you gotta know, right?
Yes.
It's just one of those
Oh,
things.
yes.
Like once it's in your head, you gotta know. I think my favorite part is somehow one of his friends ended up stuck in the house somewhere. There's no explanation as to how or why. He's just somewhere in the house, completely stuck. You're like, hop, stop. It's a shrug. It's television. You can get away with that, right? But it is one of
Yep.
those. But it's like it's one of those things. Like, can I create that feeling of curiosity in a story, right? Where okay, yes, this is the weirdest, entertaining thing ever,
Hmm.
but now I want to know what the stupid project is. I just want to know what the stupid.
Yep. I get it.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. Because if I could do that, I'd be like, hit, hit. Like, again, one of the things I think the best thing as a creative person is you mess up with people's emotions all the time, all
Yes.
the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly.
You do.
Yeah. Yeah. Your character. I saw somebody saying on Facebook, um, to their readers, if you're going to send me an email to tell me how you didn't like something or how you would have rather seen this or that, just don't, because you never know where the author's head is. And I'm like, why? Why do you tell your readers not to reach out to you? It's an opportunity to change, to turn somebody who's not a fan into a fan,
So
especially if
here,
you thank them for their, taking the time to express their opinion. You don't have to agree with it.
I actually see. I'm going to take it one step further. I
Yeah.
actually, they're already fans. Something no, they're already fans. It's just so back in the day. This is Howard Stern's apex. He was at his absolute apex.
Hmm.
They were studying who listened to his show, and what they found
Yeah.
was the people who liked his show would listen to the show for 45 minutes.
Yep.
The people that hated his show would listen to it for close to 2 hours.
Right. Because they
Right?
they would get really angry. They get
Well, yeah,
emotionally
but
charged from it.
that's the thing, right? But they're your fans too.
Yes.
Again, I'm studying sales, copy, and stuff for everything else I'm doing. But one of the things that I've picked up from this is, right, the people that hate your stuff are actually probably your biggest client base. They probably are. And even as an
Mhm.
author, I'm not saying, look, perfect world, everybody, you want everybody to love everything you do. But that's
Yeah,
not real.
not
That's not
yeah,
real. Yeah.
yeah. I would love that, but if I emotionally charge them enough for them to write me a note, regardless of whether it's, ripping me apart or giving me accolades, that means I impacted them.
Exactly.
And that's a win. And that's what I wrote back. I took the time to sort of frame it, not to put the person down for doing that, but I'm like, you do not want to at the end I said, you do not want to appear unapproachable, because
Yes.
that's the last thing we want to be. And
Well,
if somebody's upset with you or thinks you should have written it differently, that's their opinion, and you taking it personally is part of your problem, not theirs.
so no, it totally is. Like
Yeah.
again, I would love it. I would love it in a perfect world that again every book. I actually have apparently a number one fan. I saw this on my birthday thing this morning. It's like, hey, I love all your books. I'm like, I don't get those I don't get those
Yeah.
compliments very often, right? So it's nice to see and nice to hear.
Oh, I
I,
had somebody read Survival Games and got very, very upset with me. Very upset with me, because it's a very violent book.
yes.
And they wrote me and they, said, this has all these triggers and all of that stuff. And she said, how, why did you write it when you obviously have the talent to write, a lot of different things, but why did you choose this subject? So I answered her. I said, I'm sorry you didn't like it, but thank you for taking the time to write me. And if you would like to take a chance on something that's less controversial, here's a different title that you might like. If not, try this author, who I love, their romance or whatever, and she actually wrote back afterwards and she said, thank you.
Well,
And she says, I didn't expect that from you. So we got a dialogue going. So,
yeah,
you
no, but
know,
no, honestly, like, okay, I apparently posted something that was accidentally controversial not too
yes,
long
I read
ago.
it. I read the whole post. I'm like, people are getting their pennies in a bunch, but hey.
But
Okay.
but but, well, I mean, that was the part that really got me. It's like, wait, I was the one punched, and yet I'm the one in trouble here. Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing: in a couple of those diverting opinions, I understood.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
understood. A couple of them I
Yep.
didn't understand. A couple of them I was like, "What are you talking about?" Right? But
Yep.
um, I thought one of them in particular made some very valid points. I did make a few small changes to it, not big ones,
Yep.
right? And but here's the thing: like, you can have different dialogue about an issue. In fact, you should, right?
Yes. You
And the
absolutely
fact of
should.
the matter is, in my case, like in that particular instance, I thought very respectful for the people that dissented with me, very
Hmm.
respectful. That's all it really I have to be. I don't have to agree with their conclusions about what I should or
Right.
shouldn't do.
Right.
What matters is to me is um, I give people the respect to be heard, and that's
Hmm.
all anybody really wants, right? And also
Right.
sometimes they're right. like like
Right.
like or sometimes they're right, and that's the thing too, right? Is one of those things that I've learned in this life is I mean, people call me all. Some people I've taken to call me very wise and stuff. I'm not sure about that, but what I realize about that is there are bigger opinions than my own. There are other opinions than my
Yes.
own, and and at least on some things, I think are more right than probably my opinions on the matter are. Right? I don't know
Hmm.
everything,
Right.
so I have to I have to be a big enough man to listen to people,
Hmm.
and I also have to be a big enough man to kind of take a stand on what I believe in. And
Right.
that's when you write a story, it's okay that people have I don't like it or I
Right.
like it, right? It's okay for that reason because okay, if there's a valid if you screwed up and they
Hmm.
call you on it, that's fair. That's actually
Right.
totally fair.
Right.
If they don't like it and they have a valid reason for not really liking it, that's also fair. But the thing is, the fact that you're willing to listen and engage,
Right.
they'll come back, right? They'll come back because you respect them, and that's what they want.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you want when somebody takes the time, I think we as authors have to respect the fact that they took the time to write. And we shouldn't get all butthurt about what's in the, the comments and stuff like that. And people take it personally and they're like, it's like, they want to crawl into a hole and curl up and cry, when it's against their stuff. But I'm like, yeah, maybe it's my age.
No, it's
maybe it's
not. No,
my
I
maybe it's
mean,
my generation. But I'm like,
no,
yeah.
it's not even that. I would go just there's. I think
Mhm.
culturally speaking, culturally
Mhm.
speaking, this is just my own opinion, right?
Yeah.
If if the truth doesn't look pretty and ugly and you don't want to deal with it, it's you that
Mhm.
has the problem, right?
Yes.
Right? It's you that has the problem, not the person telling you what you don't want to hear. And we're in the rejection business. Not to sound like a
Right.
complete, we are in the
We
rejection
are.
business all the time.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so, I mean, I'm used to no. Listen, the audacity any author has is that my work is worth money. That's the audacity
Yes.
any author has.
Yes.
So now that comes with that comes with two little premises. The first is this. The first premise is you have to push through the no's to get to those yeses. The first thing.
Right.
But the second thing is anyone that pays, that says yes, I'm going to pay for you.
Yep.
They have an opinion.
Right.
Now again, I'm not going to listen to everything either. I remember when I was doing the Cloud Diver, the novel, right? Someone had a problem with
Mhm.
the fact that I didn't have So old buildings don't have the 13th floor. Old buildings don't,
Right.
right?
Right.
I put that little detail in my story, even though it's a futuristic story.
Yep.
And the big complaint I had there was, well, there won't be no superstitions in the future. And I'm like, that like
Mm.
that kind of thing.
Time out. Time out. There always will be. We're
Well, like
human.
my counter argument was lucky underwear. That was my
Okay.
counter argument. It's like, do you think lucky underwear will exist in the future? Because I think it will, right? And so if
Yes.
that exists, then so could this. But again, that's a little thing. It's not like the stuff like that. I'm not gonna waste my time on. Like that stuff is like, okay, you don't like it, cool. I don't care. But if you go to me
Mhm.
like, okay, I really didn't like how you depicted this character. I felt like you could have done a little bit more emotional gravitas with certain things.
Yeah.
I'll hear that out because hey, you know what? I can learn. I'm still not above learning something, or
Right.
I don't like it. Well, okay, you did pay for it. You did take the time to tell me I don't like it, so at least I'll hear it. I may not
Right.
do anything with it, but at least I'll hear it, right?
Right.
Right. But that's just it. Like we are in a business. Look, not everybody likes my writing,
Right.
right?
Not everybody likes mine, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah. And I look at some, and actually the person I look at the most with that is E.L. James, the 50 Shades of
Mhm.
Grey author.
Yes.
A lot of authors laugh at her. I don't. I mean, I laugh at a little bit at some of the dialogue I've read in there, but I don't laugh at her success because the truth of the matter is,
She marketed the hell out of it.
yeah, she did a really good job of it. And on
Yeah.
top of that, right,
Mhm.
she made it in such a way that she got paid for it. The people
Mhm.
that actually hate on the book the most, right? They're the ones that actually have made her the most money. And something I've
Mhm.
kind of come to the realization on is I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you dislike me.
Mhm.
What I care about is that you recognize where I think that's the next level of authenticity, to be honest with you, is that next
Mhm.
level of you have to be willing to take a stand. Even if the rest of the world does not agree with you, you
Right.
got to be man or woman or non-binary enough to stand up for what you believe in, and
Right.
that's gonna piss people off. That's just the way it
Oh,
is.
I agree with that. I am one of the ones that I couldn't get past the third chapter in 50 Shades of Grey.
It's okay.
I just couldn't. But
No, sure.
it yeah. I
I promise you, she doesn't care. Like I promise
I
you, she
know.
does.
I know she doesn't. She doesn't. I'm hoping that people don't view my writing craft as shoddy.
You know, well, hey, listen,
Thank you, John.
Jag, that's true. I'm not saying it was good, right?
Yes,
But what I'm
right.
saying, what I'm saying to anybody that anything you read, anything you watch, anything you say,
Right.
anything you stand up, it doesn't matter. You're gonna have people that go against what you say, right?
Right.
The as an author, a writer, a critic, like whatever the case may be, you have to
Hmm.
be mature enough as an adult to recognize that not
Hmm.
everyone's gonna like what you say.
Right. Agreed.
So,
Completely.
but you also gotta be mature enough to stand up for what you're saying, and also recognize that the people that are speaking ill of you, they are just as much fans as the people that
Mhm.
love you, right?
True.
Right? They
True.
just as much, because they cared enough to go out of their way to talk to you.
Yes. Yes.
If they ignore you completely, that's when you should worry. That's when you may,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
Right. So,
And I thought twice about responding, because it was when it was this weekend, so it was past Mercury in retrograde. so so I'm like, okay, but I'm like, and all these authors are going, I agree, I agree, I agree, and I'm like, well, I respectfully disagree. you know, and I'm like, I couldn't let them continue to go on and whatnot, because it's an opportunity that they're missing if they do that. And I want
oh,
everybody to be able to grow and connect, And I know most authors are introverts. You and I probably aren't.
Actually,
I don't know.
but believe it or not, I am an introvert by nature, but it's
Okay.
again, I've learned how to be extroverted doing this. Also,
Okay.
ironically, here's the thing. Do you want to know how Jag Trust and I became friends? She actually eviscerated one of my novels. She actually completely eviscerated one of my novels.
Oh, good. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
She's
I
laughing
have
because
no
it's so
I, I
true.
I have no idea where I was going. I was gonna go somewhere and I just have no idea because you just kind of like, okay.
No, you're
But
not.
yes.
No, you're not. No, no. First off, you're not
Don't
sorry,
be
Jay.
don't be sorry.
First off, you're not sorry. Don't lie to the public. You're not
And you're
sorry.
not
You
a
actually
terrible person.
no. I said this earlier on, right? There's a chance. Like there are things. Now I don't agree with everything. I don't agree with everything you said there, but I thought you. But the thing is, it's one of those things where I recognize the fact that you know I do know you well, but the thing is, oh, okay, thank you.
Ah, yes.
It's my birthday. It is my birthday today,
I
so
was I was gonna sing and then I thought twice about it because people would run away.
yeah. Well, Britain's my guest tomorrow, so like
And
we
I
kind
would
of.
be very, very red by the time I was done singing happy birthday.
It's yeah, it is my birthday.
Yes.
It is my birthday today. It is my birthday today. This is actually my only digital appearance today. I've been very
Mhm.
quiet on social media today.
Mhm.
But this is she's launching a book, and this is Jane. I always have enjoyed talking with Jane, so I figured I'd do this.
And he's so
Yeah,
sweet, yes.
yeah,
And I just found out, or actually it's coming probably next week. Hopefully, if my cover artist was right and she meant this week she's gonna get it to me, but I'm doing a special edition hardcover of The Shades of Night.
nice.
Yes, so all 4
Congratulations.
stories in a hardcover. So, I'm waiting for the hardcover. So,
I,
not only do I have that, I've got these 2, the 3rd book in it, the Jasmine and Rituals and Ruins, and in 2 weeks, I've got Hook.
it's cool. I actually got. I mean, it worked out for me. It's funny. Like after
Mm.
that little incident, I talked about my incident
Yep,
on the C train.
yep.
I ended up getting 2 freelance contracts.
Oh,
One,
good.
yeah, one's I'm going to be doing a podcast show for someone's massage therapy. So
Ooh,
basically, I'm going to be doing. We're going to be playing a little bit in Skillshare as
yep.
well because that just makes sense for what she's doing. But a
Mhm,
Skillshare YouTube share to help her get some clients. That's going to be a 6-month project minimum. If it goes really well, I'll obviously stay on board. But 6 months is a reasonable,
that's awesome.
right? Reasonable try.
Yeah,
The
yes.
second one is I've been testing this card game out.
Yep.
So the next 3 months is I'm trying to set up events locally in Calgary, right? So that's my next three
Mhm,
months gig. So basically, between those 2
mhm.
gigs, I have a side gig with the Calgary Flames, a hockey team right now.
Yep.
I'm usually there on the events. I go to the games, but I never get to see them. Right? It's kind of
Right.
funny.
Well, you get to hear them, you get
Uh,
to
uh,
hear the crowd,
sometimes
I should say.
I hear the crowd quite a bit. Yes, I do.
Yep.
But I mean, that's it. So between all that stuff, I mean, for the short term at least, my freelancing is going to be again. I've hit that point where my freelancing is the majority of the majority pays the bills I'm doing. That's
Mhm.
great. I'm not all the way
That's
there.
awesome.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm getting there, right?
you're
So
getting there.
yeah, so and then I'll be
But I mean, I mean, working at the hockey rink,
it's not bad. No,
it's kind of a cool thing, because you can make a lot of connections there, whether you realize it or not.
oh no, I totally can. It's funny. I mean, not to sound like an egotistical prick. I've listened to some of the broadcasts, and I'm less like I could do them better. Like literally, it's in my head. I'm listening. It's like I might be the best broadcaster in the building. That might sound like a completely arrogant thing to say, but it's like I think I could, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's one of those things where you just. But again, that's not my purpose there. My purpose there
Right.
is learn some things I'm learning, take the
Mhm.
opportunity to meet some different people,
Right.
right? Different people, go into a different audience than I normally get into,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And maybe make some
And people
connections there.
watch.
Yeah,
And people watch.
I don't get as much.
Absolutely.
Well, my people watching is a little different because I have to make sure I don't hit anybody with what I'm doing, or I'm taking
Yes.
food. I'm taking various orders to various places,
Yes.
so I have to be careful that way. But no, it's interesting to watch. It's interesting. A lot of people don't. I like one of the things that I'm still a little bit shocked at. It's the amount of preparation for a single game. Like they make sure that it's
Oh,
the
sure.
experienced people.
Hmm.
It's incredible. You know, like honestly, I think if people realize like how much work goes into a single game, I think they would be very surprised. Just
Oh,
very,
yeah. Any sort of event,
yeah.
there's like, thousands of different things that go into it. And you have a day of list of all the things that you have to do, at least from a coordination of things like that. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally wild. Like so, we're still in the preseason still, so the season
Yep.
starts in like a week.
Yep.
But no, it's like between all these three things, I'm good. Like yeah, so my side gig is a sports team. My main gigs are freelancing gigs.
Yep.
Like I'm doing okay. Like it's
That's nice. That's good.
yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, I loved your services, so you did
Eh,
some nice videos.
yeah, and I'll still be advertising for them. Like I said, it'll
Yeah.
be interesting. It'll be interesting to keep that going. Although again,
Yeah.
I'm feeling that this is what I felt there. Like
That
just
might be a
doing it.
little bit less prominent than the other gigs.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's gonna have to be like. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I still have time to do them, but it's gonna
Hmm.
be like, especially once I get going with the show. When I get going with the massage therapy show, once that's nailed down to a formula, I'll
Hmm.
have more time to do other things. But more importantly, what I've learned about, I think the biggest lesson I've learned about this aspect of freelancing is,
Hmm.
right, even when you have work, you can never stop looking for work. I have a 3 month
Right.
that's the one thing.
Right.
Like it's so easy to get caught up in the work that you forget to keep looking for work. And that's something that I think
Hmm.
that's the big lesson I learned this year. Well, and this. If a meeting goes longer than 30 minutes and you still haven't closed the deal, start charging for
Mm.
consultation fees. That's the other thing I've
Yep.
learned. Those are the big two lessons I've learned this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
It's good stuff to learn, right? But
But yeah, it is. I mean, it's just like, cover artists when they're doing stuff, or editors. If you're asking, them to look at something, even if it's this little, going to them over and over again, you as the author should turn around and pay them.
yeah. Oh
So,
no, and that's the thing. Like I have an editor. That's the other thing too. About a month, I can finally start. So like I said this. I'm doing 3 Kickstarters next year. My first one
yeah.
is my Dr. Seuss Golden storybook.
Aw.
It's a comic, but it's actually done like a Dr. Seuss book. So
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yep.
be. It broke my brain writing this. I broke my brain. It actually
Yeah.
broke a little bit. Dr. Seuss is a genius. He
Yes.
really, really was. Like
Yes.
I have nothing but respect for that man. That is. I have him number 3 on my all-time graphic novelist list for a reason. He's number 3
Yep.
because
Yeah,
my
because
God,
yeah, I mean, green eggs and ham. I mean, he tells a story in rhymes. It's amazing.
in less than 50 words, he uses
Yes,
less than 50 words to the
throughout the
whole.
whole thing. Yeah, because it's young readers. Yes, because you have to keep them focused and engaged, and you can't do it with more than 50 words.
Well, yeah, and well, the thing is, he uses pictures to tell the story too. Like,
Yes.
take a box and socks. You put a
Hmm.
comic book. You know the comic book thought bubbles there.
Yes.
Put them in. Put them in where they're supposed to go. It's a
Yep.
comic. Like that Fox and Socks is secretly a comic book. Whether people
Yes.
realize it or not, it's secretly a comic book. Right? Right?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a comic book without thought bubbles. That's it. It's one of the most brilliant things ever. And I tried doing like that's my little homage to Seuss. That's the first thing I'm doing.
Mhm.
I'm going to try to get print run of my Alice books for the second for
Okay.
Kickstarter.
Yep.
And the third one is I sent Jag. I've never heard back from her. And I'm saying that because I'm deliberately trying to make her feel guilty about this a little bit. I sent her a piece of a novel a while ago, And then and I never heard back. And she always comes, and whenever I mention it, she says, "I'll get to it," and she never does. It's actually one of those hilarious things. Yeah, it's true.
She's like, what?
It's true. It's true. Every time I sent it to you like months ago, right?
Mhm.
So
That's like Rebecca and me.
oh no
I'll
no
ask
no.
her. You send me
No,
one
yeah,
chapter,
I
then
never heard
nothing.
back from you. I never heard anything from you. Oh, okay.
Dies. Oops.
I never heard back. I didn't know you read it.
It dies. He was waiting. You were waiting. This is funny.
This is very hilarious.
This is
Okay,
funny.
I'll send you more. I'll send you more tonight. I promise. Now I know you got it. I wasn't sure you read it. You never told me you read it.
Oh.
See, you can tell we're friends, right? So
Yes, I can.
yeah. It's like,
Wait,
no,
what?
no, but yeah, that's gonna be my third one. I've always wanted to. I'm a big fan of an artist by the name of Darwin Cook, but more specifically, I love his crime novels. He did Richard Matheson's Parker novels.
Okay.
He redid them as like illustrated novels. They're phenomenal. I want my own. You think the cover's pretty? You should take a look at those novels. Those novels will make you go, "Holy shit, they're brilliant!" Right? They're just they look unbelievable. Right?
That would
Right?
be
It's
like
just
so cool to see.
yeah. Look up Darwin Cook and Parker novels. And you look at those, you'll be like.
Okay.
And then I have a graphic novel off to a publisher. I just pitched another comic book series to another publisher.
Mhm.
I'm Jane. I might be making a creative living just being a creative son of a bitch. I might be there by next year.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That is really cool. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'd love to be. I'd love to do that, but no, I still have a little bit longer.
Well, we're in slightly different situations, right?
Right.
Like if
Yeah.
I had a family and kids, I wouldn't
Mhm.
be hitting that point for me is a lower margin than what yours can
Right.
be. Right?
Right.
I don't need to hit the same high. Now don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
right? I'm making thousands. I'm not making like hundreds or something like
Mhm.
that, right? But the
Mhm.
thing is, it's one of those things where you realize, like, yeah, I don't need a house. I don't really need a car.
Mhm.
Yes, editors
Yes.
deserve love.
Yes.
Editors deserve
They
love.
do. They do.
Yes, but I say
Yeah.
it like this is because I say it like that because it's one of those situations where I realize that since I'm by myself, I don't need very much personally. Because I
Right.
don't really need very much.
Yeah.
And
You
also,
just
I'm in a weird spot because
you.
I don't want
Yeah.
a house right now. Like maybe if I was like a little bit more like ready to settle down. And I know it sounds
Mhm.
weird at 41 that I'm not ready to settle down, but it's where I'm at, right? I want to
Mhm.
still do and see a lot
You
more
want to be
things.
able to go up and go and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's it, and that's where I'm at right now. And so, if I buy a house, and also, I mean, if I'm really playing the housing game,
Mhm.
honestly, I wait till
Mhm.
next year when things really go tits up, and then I make an offer somewhere if I have any money, because that
Right.
chance will come next year,
Yes.
unfortunately. Unfortunately, Canada or the States, it doesn't matter. It's about
Right.
where do I want to live, other than
Right.
maybe California, because California is insane. But
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Come to live for your die state.
yeah, yeah. But that's just
That's
it,
where
right?
we are.
I'm in that boat. You had kids to raise.
Yes.
You have nice things. You like those nice things,
Hmm.
right?
But we could have done the same thing in that we have in Maine down south instead of this, but this opportunity came up.
Yeah,
And we
and,
would be happy in a double wide with little stuff because we don't need a lot of stuff. We
yeah,
have it, but we don't need it.
yeah. But
So
again, but it's about want, right? Like what I'm
Right.
saying by that is you wanted what you had. So that meant that you made some decisions. You
Yep.
made some decisions that
We
fulfill those
wanted,
wants. Right,
yeah,
right. That's
we
it.
wanted, yeah, we wanted to help out his parents. That's
Yeah,
why we bought this place.
exactly. So
So,
I mean,
it yeah.
no. And by the way, and I say that to people like this deliberately for this reason.
Yeah.
There's no crime in what you want, ever,
Right.
ever. Right? It's being honest about what you want.
Right.
Right? That's the real secret. If you can be honest about it, then if you're honest and owning it, then there's no crime. Right?
Right.
This is just about now doing the things to do what you want to do. It's just about owning that honesty about you. You want to take care of his parents. You want
Yeah.
a certain degree. You want a certain degree of comfort that comes along with that.
Yes.
Hence, that's why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
if that responsibility wasn't there, maybe you'd be like, you know what? I don't
Peace
really need
out.
to go. Yeah,
It's like, peace out. Sell the house. We'll live in Maine. We'll live in Carolinas, and that's it.
yeah, that's it, right? That's it,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
there's no crime, like there's no like
Right.
magical crime at that, right? It's just
Right.
understanding. It's understanding those wants. Like me,
I mean,
my
at one
my
point, it was on a boat. It was going to be a boat
yeah.
instead of
So
a house.
it
So,
still might be. It still may end up being a boat eventually. No, 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 no.
no, no. I kind of like not throwing up all the time.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair. I
Yeah.
can respect that. I can respect that.
Plus, it's a money pit. It really
It can
is.
be. No,
It
it can be.
really
It
is. Yeah.
absolutely
You
can be.
know.
Yes,
You
unless you
know.
have a business, plan to go with the boat, then it's not
Yeah.
so bad. But
Right.
otherwise, yeah, no,
Yeah.
it really is. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's the thing that, and we look at, we're still looking at like the speedboats or the ones that you can have on ocean and lakes, but we haven't we don't want any more
That's
debt.
fine. That's
So
fine.
that's the want against the want.
Yeah, and then it's about what you want more. Then it's about what you
Yes,
want more, right? And
exactly.
again, it's being honest about that. If you're
Mhm.
honest about it, that's
Mhm.
great. It's when you're dishonest about that you create that on. I honestly do truly think with most people that
Mhm.
dishonesty. So like one of the reasons I came back to Calgary and it's not been really the case was to connect
Mhm.
with some of the people I haven't connected in a few years.
Right.
Right. Well, I've
Right.
been here. I've been in this area for like this city for months, but I've been in Alberta for about a year, and I haven't connected with a whole lot of those people. So it kind
Yeah.
of made me it made me reevaluate some things too. Where it's like, well,
Mhm.
I want to connect, but no one maybe seems want to connect the way I want to.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm in the wrong place, right? And that's a possibility, right? Maybe, or
Mhm.
maybe it's or maybe it's just simply not the right time. Like there's a lot of things it could be. But
Mhm.
one of the other things I've quietly done is I've also like again because I want that connection.
Yeah.
I'm working on distance, right?
Mhm.
I'm working out like what I mean by that is anyone that wants just distance,
Yep.
I've made connections to distance, pun not intended, to distance myself from those people. If
Right.
that's all they want, I'm not going to get that connection with them, right?
Right.
Because they want that distance. So I'll let them have it. I just won't be involved in it. I'm going to try to just seek those people that want connection, right? And somewhere along the way, I will find some, whether it's here or elsewhere. That remains to be seen.
Mhm.
But either way,
Mhm.
I'm honest about what I want, and I'm honest about what I'm not willing to settle for. So
So where would you, if you had a choice of being anywhere, where would it be?
that's a hard question. It's the one answer I legitimately don't know because it's like I know I've moved around my whole life. Like that's the other
Mhm.
thing too. Like I've like even during the pandemic, I moved 3 times. Right.
Yep.
So it's like
Okay.
right. So yeah, stay home. No, I ended up going everywhere. And the thing about it is, I I like Calgary, but
Mhm.
I've never loved it. Right. So
Okay.
there's a difference. Right. So I could see myself being here for a short time, or not as long as I was here last time, but for a
Right.
short time, or for a short time
Okay.
still. But I mean, there's a person I want to meet that's going to be in Texas. I kind of made a
Hmm.
promise that I was going to skydive into jelly beans with them, and I kind of want to keep that promise,
That's kind of
right?
cool.
Yeah,
As long as you, yeah, parachute,
yeah,
right?
no,
Yeah.
totally. But
You're not going into this big vat
no.
of jelly beans.
I have life to live still. I'm not interested in dying anytime soon.
Okay.
Right. I have life to live.
I
I'm
had to
more so.
ask.
Yeah.
I had to clarify.
I'm glad you think I'm crazy enough to jump out of the plane without a chute. I'm glad you think even I'm a little. I'm that deranged.
Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking this vat of jelly beans.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, no matter like that'd hurt. No matter how high up I jump, that would hurt unless I'm
Yeah.
parachuting into
True.
them, right? So,
True.
I mean, right?
That was a dumb question on my
She's got she's got my number. She's got my number. No, it
part.
but no, it just. But
God.
no, I mean, to be very honest with you,
Mhm.
if I stay in Alberta, I'm going
Mhm.
back to those mountains. Like if
Yeah,
I'm being very,
that's beautiful.
yeah, no, that was beautiful, and I really love that. Oh, she
Yeah.
knows I'm crazy enough to try it once. There are
Well,
even
yeah. That would
there are
be the one time though.
Jag. There are even things I won't try. This is one of them. If I absolutely had to, I would do it with a smile, but I'd have to
Mhm.
absolutely have to,
Mhm.
right? Because then at that point, I might as well learn how to fly. There, that's how I
Yeah.
look at it. It's like at that point, if I gotta do it, I gotta learn how to fly.
Mhm.
Because right, that's just how I see it. I might
Yeah.
as well at that point.
Have
But
you gone skydiving before?
yes,
Okay. All right.
yes. No. It's not.
It's not the
Honestly,
same.
it's not even close. I would. I
No.
mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure VR is going to get much more sophisticated in the years to come. But if there's one thing the pandemic's kind of done with me is I don't want that distance of myself between me and the world. The world is a
Mhm.
magical, wonderful place to see, explore, and do things in. So for
Right.
me, the VR, I'm not as gung ho about that as some people. I mean, I'm aware of it. I'll keep my eye on it. There's some cool things you can do with it. Taking the place of actual life experiences is not one of those things.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's
No.
just me.
Right.
But okay, so in the United States, now it's a California. It's a California place. So I don't know how realistic this is now, but I love San Diego. I really loved it there.
It is pretty there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's also right near Mexico too, so it's kind of like it's kind of
Yeah.
like the best of all worlds. Um,
Mhm.
I didn't mind Phoenix, but again, I don't love it there. So it'd be either probably be if I was in the States, it would be something like San Diego, where I have a beach and a mountains kind of in the same spot,
Yeah.
right? So it'd be that, or it would be something like although a lot of people are scoffing at Texas for some of their crazy stuff. The truth is, there's a lot of beautiful different places in there
Mhm.
that are definitely worth exploring and seeing. I'd like maybe somewhere there. Um, but beyond that, like I kind of feel like for me, I'm still looking for whatever that is I'm looking
Mhm.
for. To say I'm going to stay home. I'm going to stay
You-
here.
You're staying. All most of those places are the Rockies, west or south.
Yes, yes.
Yes. What's wrong with the East Coast? Sorry.
It's not.
Have
Well,
you been out here?
I haven't been where you're at. No, I haven't been
Okay.
where you're at. Where you're at. No, but I, so here's the thing.
You've been to New York then?
Not really. Not a
No.
little bit of this. A little bit of the state, but not
Okay.
all. Not the pretty spots. But I don't think if Toronto's an indication, New York City and me would not get along very much, right?
Yeah.
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 Just New York City and me would not get along very much. I
Yeah.
have zero. Honestly, I think what it is for me at this point in my life, I kind of want simplicity. The reason why I'm picking those places is because I've seen the simplicity those places can offer. Are they perfect? No, but I also think they have a certain way about it. when I'm looking at the cities as they're presently constructed, I'm
Well,
try.
San Diego is back to back to back to back houses.
Yes, it is. Kind of. Kind of.
Well,
Kind of.
mostly, yes.
Yeah. Kind
Even
of.
even even back when I went out there, it was, and I'm sure it's gotten
I was
much
I
more
was there.
packed.
I was there in 2006. I was right
Okay.
along. I was right along the. I was so the bed and breakfast I stayed at was
Hmm.
right along the beach. Like it was just.
Okay.
It
So was it San Diego or Del Mar?
was San Diego. It was still San
Okay.
Diego. It
Del
was
Mar is beautiful, by the
yeah.
way.
Yeah. No, it was San Diego. No, it was Sandy.
Okay.
It was San Diego proper, but it's beautiful
Mhm.
out there. Like I looked
Mhm.
at that and it was like this is really cool. Now the military base was a bit interesting going through San Diego and being
Yep.
around that base, but for all intents and purposes, it was like a smaller, more compact version of where I'm at now. But it's got a beach and
Okay.
it's pretty.
Yeah.
So that was the
Yep.
impression I got with San Diego back in the day. Now again, 15 years is enough time for things to change. Uh,
Yes.
it is enough time for things to change. So I can't really say I would have the same feeling if I went back there. But I would definitely like to go back there to try and see what it feels like.
Mhm.
Um, Vegas, I would love to go check out. If you're going to go east, I am curious about Atlanta, but only because I'm curious about Atlanta for one very, very silly, dumb reason. I'm
Dragon
a big
Con?
what?
Dragon Con?
No, actually,
Oh, that's
no. Although
what
I
a
do
good
want to do,
reason.
I do want to do one.
Mhm.
The dumb reason is this: is the Kate Daniels novels all take place in Atlanta. So it's kind
Okay.
of right. Oh, everybody, yeah, me too. Like I don't know if I go next year, but 2024, I definitely will be there. I
Mm.
will. That's the goal. I'm going to be. My plan next year is to be divide my time between traveling to different shows, doing things,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
doing whatever freelance gigs I have to do to kind of maintain that. I also came up with
Mhm.
this one weird idea of doing an ice cream and Bailey's truck.
Mhm.
It's like
Hmm.
one of those. Yeah, she's like, I'm into that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, I'm into that. Yep,
Like,
see,
oh,
yeah.
okay. You had me
No
at
one.
ice creams. Anything else after that? You just lost me. No.
I know. I know. It's ice cream and booze. Put it together. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful thing, right?
Yes.
No one's gonna hate that.
Bailey's absolutely. And
Yeah.
well, you have to do cream de menthe too.
Oh no. I'm gonna be
Oh,
experimenting. I'm experimenting this winter just because, right? But
yes, the
no,
the
what?
nice little sauces on them. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. See, see again. No one. I think what it is with me, and this is where I've hit a very simplistic point in my life, and that's
Mhm.
what it is I want to do cool things with cool people, and because of this podcast, I've been afforded this opportunity to meet all these different people in all these different places.
Right.
That's
Yes.
appealing to me. Like that's very appealing to me at this point in my life because I can still go out and do those things.
Mm.
It's also ironically a bit of a family tradition because my uncle was a photographer and he traveled the whole world with his wife. That's what he did his whole life.
Nice.
That was his life. Like, all right.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they had a place of residence, but they were hardly ever home. They were always
Right.
seeing the world. Right. So I kind of like, there's a part of me that's like, again, it's that little bit of that wanderlust I have.
Mhm.
But it's also just like I'm looking around and I'm seeing like the world is about to go through some major changes again,
Mhm.
big ones. The
Mhm.
world as we know it will go through a major overhaul. So if I don't take the chance to see it now, I
Right.
mean, let's be honest, I'm not exactly above breaking the rules to get what I want, but
Right.
I want to do it before I have to break any of those rules to get what I
Right.
want.
Right.
Right. Right. So
Yes.
that's where we're
Yeah.
going. That's where I see us going. So I like, yeah, I'll come hang out with you in May. You can go on. You can take me on one of your small boats. You try not to throw up on. I'll go fly. I'll try jet skiing for the first time ever. Why not? But again, but this is the thing. Like what I realized is for everything in life, if you really want to break it down, like where the real magic is in it, it's for me at least, it's the people you meet along the way and the things
Mhm.
you do in that time. There really isn't much else. There
Right.
really isn't. all
It is.
everything else.
You can't take all this with you. You can't take all this
Yes.
stuff with you. So, but you can impact lives and make other people's lives better, and just by, you know, offering good stories and an ear and a shoulder
And I'm
and
good
a
at all of
hug
the,
and a hug. Yeah.
and I'm good at all of those things,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So it's again, it feels like a very appealing thing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I do see myself, once the hockey season's done, I'll probably be starting to travel. Now I might stay, depending on how things go, I
Mm-hmm.
might stay in the West Coast for the first half of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could see it like the next few years, just next couple of years, just me going to all these different cool little places and go. Like I have like a list of, so with everybody I really want to see, I have like an internal list of things I want to do with them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because because I think it'd be fun. Like I want, like for example, like JD Estrada.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have him teach me how to swear in Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
I think
down
that's
in the Atlanta area, isn't
what.
he?
Yeah, he's
Isn't
in
he down
Atlanta.
in Georgia? Yeah.
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 So he's down in the
Yeah.
Atlanta area, like someone I want to meet, right? With
Yep.
Joe, we've always wanted to do like a convention, covering convention, like a documentary style thing. So I want to do something
Mm-hmm.
like that with Joe, because it sounds like a lot of fun. With someone like, say, Jag, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, what if I do go back up in that direction, right? Maybe we do some kind of gaming convention or something like that, right? And do something fun, like something like a real experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's the thing. Like what I'm interested in now is those real experiences, and that's kind of where I've hit
Mm-hmm.
in my life, right? Some people may like, I got so much shit to do. It's like, no, you know what?
You really
That's it.
don't.
No, you really don't.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
really don't. It's about what you
Yep.
want,
Yep.
and that's what I've hit, and that's what I've hit. Like this is the thing. Like once I've realized this about people,
Mm-hmm.
is right. I'm more forgiving when people don't want to do something, but
Yeah.
I also have become a lot more sensitive to the bullshit of, oh, I got this to do and this to do and this to do and this to do. Very
Yep.
rarely is that actually true. I've learned this. I've learned this about people. It's like, it's not really true most of the time. Most of the time, it's
Right.
right.
Well,
Right.
yeah. Exactly.
Most of the time, you just don't want to do it, and that's great. Like if you don't want to, I'm good with that. Don't waste my time.
Right.
Just don't waste my time.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to make a decision about next weekend because on Wednesday we were going down to babysit the littles, the grandchildren for 2 days. So Thursday and Friday we have them because my daughter has a wedding on Friday night. Um, and initially I had said to my dad and my sister, let's go out on Saturday and go, do our fall foliage pictures, since I'm going to be down there. And my sister was like, well, we have this tournament that we have to go to on Saturday, but we can do it on Sunday. She has Monday off. I don't. and and this is the last full weekend in Maine. So it's like a catch 22. And I'm like, I as much as I would like to go out on Sunday, no, because that means we go back up late at night and we don't have any enjoyment of the last weekend in our camper. And I was
No, it's
like,
fair.
and it was tough because I really wanted to go out with them, but I also really wanted to go spend the last weekend up at the campground and with our friends up there and say, the goodbyes.
No,
Basically. Yeah,
but that's fair. That's fair. That's an honest. But that's honest, right? That's an
yeah.
honest. That's honest.
Yep. And I
It's
told her,
never.
I said, I'm torn because yes, I want to be with you and dad and go do this, but I really want to be up at the beach. It was
That's
like,
fair. No.
shit.
But that's fair, right? And at least you were honest enough with them about that. That's the
Yes.
whole thing. Like that's
Yep.
the whole thing. If you're honest about it, it might
Hmm.
initially sting, but they'll understand.
Yes.
Hey, at least you told us. At least you're not wasting my time. At least you're not doing any of those things
Right.
that drive like me personally at this point in my life crazy.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like just tell me no. I'm good with
I
that,
made a
right?
decision. Yeah, make a decision, and it took me a little while to make a decision because I was,
Sure.
the torn between spending time with my dad and sister and spending time at the beach. They're, equal priorities ish.
Well,
and and yeah.
it's about what you want. Like
Right.
when it's about when you got it like this, you make a decision and you stick with it, right? And that's
Yep,
it. That's
exactly.
all anybody can. That's all anybody can expect from you, right?
Right. Right.
Right. That's it. Like make a decision, respect those decisions, and that's
Mhm.
it. In my case, I'm in Calgary for sure till
Yep.
next May.
Yep.
After that,
Because
I don't know.
you have
I don't know.
contracts. Yep.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have contractual obligations.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. In May, the Flames at some point in May will be eliminated in the playoffs. They're a good team, but I'll be
Yeah.
shocked if they go all the way. Now,
Yep.
saying that, watch what happens, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, but right, so I'm doing that. I got a contract till like to the middle of May for the other thing, and yeah, I have another contract. Although it could go to longer depending on how
Mm.
things go. So it's one of those things where I look at it and I just recognize the fact that like as it stands right now, when this is all up, I'm probably not going to want to be here anymore. As it
Right.
stands right this minute,
Right.
there are things that could change my mind. I'm
Yep.
open to that possibility, but if I'm being very honest, I want to do this traveling thing. I'm ready to do it. So I think,
Hmm.
and maybe that's why I'm not connecting with anybody right now. Maybe that's what this is really all about. Because if I connect, maybe my mind changes.
Yep.
Maybe, right?
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. I think I'd still be traveling, but I wouldn't be traveling quite as often if that was the
Right.
case.
Right. And
Yeah,
you want to see the world, so it makes sense not to, put roots down if you want to travel right now.
yeah,
So,
yeah. You know, and yeah, that's where I'm at. And again, and in the process, do 3 different, maybe 4, or who knows how many books next year with
hmm
different things I'm doing. So, like I said, I guess I'm crazy, but like I said, but I'm awesome. But what I want, like, and that's it.
yeah.
And that's it, right? And if you don't want those things, you don't want, and that's fine too. Like I'm not going to hold that against you. Just
Right.
tell me. Just tell
Yeah,
me, right?
it's like make a decision. And
Yeah.
I normally don't waffle on decisions. I don't like waffling. I'm
Well,
not a waffler. So
it's the
making a
word.
decision and going down that path. Um, I'm not always married to the decision though,
No.
because things change.
Sure.
So that's, I
No,
mean,
but
this
when
is a
things,
perfect example of things change.
yeah, but when things change,
Mhm.
then you just okay. Even when I work in a freelance
Pivot.
gig,
Yeah,
well,
it's a,
you can no
yeah.
you can pivot. You're not bound to go off of this course forever until you walk. There's gonna come a point I'm gonna be done traveling. I'm saying, you know what? I'm gonna pick a
It's
spot.
time for roots. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's gonna happen to me.
Roots or wings. Yep.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it, right? So
Yep.
I say it like that, but at the same time, let's say okay, okay, freelancing wise,
Hmm.
the project I signed up for and the project that actually it is
Hmm.
might actually be 2 different things.
Right.
Then it's decision time,
Hmm.
right? It's up to me if I'm the freelancer, it's up to me to tell my client, hey, listen, this is not
This
the
is
job.
not working. Yeah.
Okay, this is not the job we discussed. It's actually this kind of job we discuss, right? So let's
Hmm.
again, that's it. I'm not married. Like to when circumstances and expectations change,
Hmm.
I'm open to changing too, right? I just what I expect just from anybody, and that's just the way I am at this point. Is if just make a decision,
Hmm.
follow through, and if you change your mind or if things change, cool. But let people know. You know,
Right.
don't open communication. Ultimately, that's what this is about. It doesn't matter what it is in life.
Absolutely. And it's well past an hour.
It is. It's yeah. Oh
I just
yeah.
looked at that. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
crap.
Oh no. Yeah, I know. So listen. So actually, I'm going to ask you two things, and we'll wrap up. Okay.
Okay.
Two. The first thing. Hey, hey, Anita. Anita says hi.
Hi, Anita.
So we mentioned this a little bit last time. We talked
Mhm.
about the conclusion of your trilogy a little bit. So
Yeah.
this, I guess, now that it's done, it's done,
Yeah.
done, done. All right.
Yeah.
So, is it done? Is it
the,
like
the trilogy with these characters are done. Yes. Yes. So Shades of Night with Robbie and Sarah is done.
done? Like dinner?
It's done like dinner. But there may be a sequel from an offshoot from it.
Okay. So the world isn't closed, but there are
Yeah,
parts of it.
the world isn't closed. No, there's
Okay.
going to be a sequel, and there's going to be a prequel, possibly a couple prequels on origin stories, origins of the werewolf, origins of the phoenix. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that because I touched on it in the books, that was like, oh, that kind of sparked something in my head. So,
Building a megaverse, one little bit at
yes.
a time. That's cool.
Well,
So,
yeah. So that
will we
was,
see
yeah.
that? Will we see that next year, or are you gonna wait a little bit?
The sequel will probably be coming out in December because that's the
Oh,
one
okay.
that's the one that's got my muse right now.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
I'm slowly writing it because I'm stuck in this marketing hell. I'll put it that way. At the end of this week, everything will be like a little bit less hectic and I can focus back on writing.
No, that's fair. Which actually was going to
Mhm.
be my second question. Ironically enough, was this. Now,
What?
will you ever do? Like you said, you'll never ever do this again. This marketing 3 day hosting, whatever
Yeah.
weird suicide you decided to volunteer yourself for.
I
But
would do the one
yep.
day takeover. Yeah,
Oh,
because that's manageable.
but I will ask this because this
Hmm.
was a different approach. Besides the fact that you don't want to do it this way ever again, did you learn anything from this?
Um, Coordinating it is kind of nightmarish. um, um, and keeping people on task, I dislike. I'll put it that way. From which is really weird because at work I like keeping people on task, but in my day job. But in this world, I really don't like going, "Hey, it's your turn. Hey, it's your turn. Hey, it's your turn."
No, 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 no. It's the worst. It is the
Yes,
absolute worst.
yes. So the
You,
project management part of this, I do not like. I'll put it that way.
gotcha.
But you know, getting the word out. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, Amazon decided to drop a third of our sales of our pre-orders. So we're scrambling from behind at this point.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
That's
sorry. Lord
okay. That's
goodness.
all right. That happens a lot. But we've been on pre-order for a year. So somebody puts it on a credit card that goes, whatever.
So AF, honestly, Anita, it's not
Yeah.
just authors, it's creatives,
Yes, in
period.
general.
In general, it's not just authors. Authors,
Mhm.
I I, I I am harder on some authors. I'm a little harder on than others because some of them actually do know better because they are the
Yes.
organizer. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's a creative thing. It's a weird balance because you need them to be creative. It's part of what makes them so great. But you just like again, it's that please don't waste my time. Please don't
Mhm.
make me chase you.
Yes, I don't want to chase. And yeah, I mean it's interesting and I don't want to do this again. But I probably will. Not 3 days. I won't do 3 days ever
So
again.
so for me to you, big giant hug. If they're there, it's nearly over. It's nearly
Yeah.
over.
Yes, I
So
know.
so at some point, so I guess it's time. So which one do you want to promote the most here? Because it's the end of the interview. So you gotta.
Yep.
So how do you want to do this?
I'm going to promote Jasmine, which is my eighth fractured fairy tale. It's in Rituals and Runes set, which is 99 cents for this week only. So grab it before it goes up. And then, so I have that out. And then later this month is the 10th one. So that's the complete tractor trailer. Number 9 went in June. Number 9 went in June. Don't ask.
You're trying to break my brain again, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. And
Well,
and Jag and
yeah.
Jag, if you're still here, it's here's the thing. It's not that Jane has my number. It's just like it's more like this. It's almost like when we look at each other, we're seeing two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We see two sides of the same coin. Right. We both are just gonna do it. And so we respect that about each other. But she also has the advantage of several more years of experience, right? So that's why she's one of the few people that can actually tongue tie me, because she knows the actual correct way to do it.
Yes.
She knows the correct way to do it, right? Which is in part just to be herself.
Yes. And I've done that, many times. And I kind of pride myself on that.
The woo thing. I'm serious. You gotta make a t-shirt. You gotta make that t-shirt on that. That broke me just a little bit. When you said that, time for a little woo. It's like, oh my god. Okay. Alrighty. So hold on. I'm just gonna do this right now because it's time to wrap up. Taylor 75. I should do this before, but as you know, trained professional. This is J.E. Taylor's website, ladies and gentlemen. Oh wait, not laughing at Jag. Jag laughing at me.
Yes.
This is her website. Go check it out. She's got some amazing series. Personal note, I do like the Shades of Night series. I'm not just saying that because I helped advertise it, but also because Jane is a really good writer. She really, really is, and definitely does a lot of great books and a lot of great series. So definitely go check her out right there. And speaking of advertising, hooray! It doesn't work. I screwed that up.
Let's see. Take out the www.
Okay.
Just go jetaylor75.com.
Okay, try that.
Yeah.
Try that.
Yep. Yeah. It didn't work. Why not?
Did the JE didn't work, Jag, or was it the HD, or was it the www?
Oh, did you put an HTTP? Oh no, hold on. Is it?
Hold on a second here.
Yeah.
Both, okay.
Oh, do it without the S.
What? Okay. Do it without the S. Okay.
Yeah, do it without the S. Yeah, because I just put in jetaylor75.com all the time at this point. And
okay.
That comes
if
up.
If that doesn't work, I don't know, folks. I just don't know.
If that doesn't work, let me know, because that's kind of strange.
There we go.
Okay.
on a personal note, yes, what's the problem? On a personal note, Jag, the Dragon series is really, really good. But I'm kind of partial to some of her like one shots. They're really, really good stuff. So take a look. And finally, I gotta do my thing.
Yes, do your thing. Do your thing.
My thing. My thing. So if you're an author and you're looking to advertise your work, I do words, pictures, graphics, and audio and video about your project, whether it be a book, whether it be your brand, or whether it be yourself. I definitely do interviews about that. And if you are interested in those services, take a look now.
Yes.
And this week,
really good.
Yes. And beyond all that, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for this episode of Just Josh and this birthday edition. I'm going to disappear off the socials for the rest of the day. Tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow afternoon with Britton Summers, and we'll be talking. I don't know what we'll be talking. Maybe some, considering we still talk off the air, probably something Watchmen related. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, for everybody watching, everybody listening, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. and I'll see you next time.